Yo, how's it going? It's been a while since we've gotten any Mecha BREAK news, but thankfully we've finally gotten a release date on top of some crazy news, including 2 new strikers, a bunch of new maps, and various things that I'm gonna kind of go through as we go through the video. So before we dig into... Hey, Joanna. Alright, so if I'm being genuine, today's video, the sound balance was a little rough, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cover everything that was mentioned in the latest post. So first things first, we actually have a skippable tutorial. Using Google Lens, I can see it, the one on the far right is showing that it's for veterans, while the one above me here is actually going to be for recruits, with 2 different options for how you want to approach a tutorial, with both of them giving an estimate of 20 minutes so you know what to expect as you go into it. I'm really glad that they gave us both options, on top of giving an estimate for both tutorials that would be taking place. Now, as for the strikers, we have some great news. It was announced a while back, but just in case you missed it, we are officially getting the 12 base strikers that we're familiar with for free, available right at launch. So as soon as you sign up for the game and start playing, they will be good to go, and you'll be able to just unlock them, as Chris is doing right here. And though we're not 100% on how that's going to impact things like how Inferno was locked behind the Mashmak currency, we'll have to see how that goes. I still hope they make it to where it's very reasonable and achievable for all the players to get the future strikers that we have. Overall, I mean, this is an amazing change. It's what we needed to make sure that we add the matchmaking less cluttered with bots, allow players to experience new strikers without having to necessarily feel the buyer's remorse of going into things. I remember a player on the Reddit talking about how they invested in the Panther because they thought it felt good during the tutorial and the training phases of everything, but then in real matches, they just didn't enjoy it. And I feel like this is just a smart decision all around. I still think a trial system wouldn't be a bad idea for future strikers that come out. Kind of blocking Chris, 1 second. All right, so from here, Chris kind of goes over the new way achievement points are going to be working. Though it's still not clear if achievement points are going to be how our levels are affected, we do have a new currency that is strictly for using on our title card, and just it basically just allows you to assign different things from your statistics to your player card, kind of like we had in the beta with different things that you'd unlock as you progress through your levels. Again, not sure how this really ties into your actual leveling, but the good news is that Mashmak, Ace Arena, and everything, let me skip ahead a bit, whether it's Verge, Ace Arena, or Mashmak, you should just be able to jump into whatever you want right out the gate, which is such a nice change because a lot of us didn't even get to test Ace Arena last time around because we weren't willing to put up with the bots. But speaking of Mashmak, let me find it. It actually has some new changes that are very interesting, and they also acknowledge the auto beam cannon catastrophe. So in the future, what is going to happen is there are now going to be, I don't know if you can see these, let me move out of the way real quick. These 3 things right here are going to be easy, medium, and I assume expert or something equivalent, and these are going to be new difficulties for Mashmak, with the easy mode being restricted on essentially a cost system that is now going to be assigned to your different weapon loadouts and gliders, etc, etc. So newbies and everyone who's just trying to like kind of have a relaxing time, you can go into that one, not have to worry about a sweaty builds. You don't have to be like really just like trying, you're like in being aware of every moment, every second, keeping an eye out for your enemies. You get me. You didn't go too in depth, but essentially each tier is going to have a different cost limit, and from there we can see that he kind of showcases that each of the parts now have, so all of the weapons are now, 1, customizable. You can completely paint the individual weapons themselves on top of the supply drops that they come in, and now all of them have a cost system that accumulates towards a certain amount. And as he's showing over, let me pause this real quick, at the very top over here, you can see that there is, I think he's at 17,160, and the limit might be 16,200. I could be getting that wrong, but essentially there is going to be something up there. Now, a major change to Mashmak that is going to change the dynamic of it quite a bit is the fact that we now have expendable loadouts. And what I mean by that is if you die, your loadout is gone. I think this has potential for good and bad depending on how it plays out, but right now I'm leaning towards the positive because I think it lends well to replayability. I think the stakes will just be a little bit more serious as you're really considering what your loadout is and if you want to risk losing those parts. One thing they did address though is that there's not going to be different tiers of weapons anymore. There is just going to be one base weapon that you get, that is the only version of it that you, I could have misinterpreted, but I'm pretty sure that's how they are explaining it. I think this could also lend to some premium options that could help keep the game afloat. Again, this all depends on the actual execution of it, but insurance and things like that might lend well to the system without detracting from the free-to-play experience. Now, as for the modular weapons, there's clearly some new stuff on the way as well, as we can see Luminae with a battle axe. Yeah, with a battle axe. Now, they gave it the Welkin spin and everything, so that could be crazy. I do not want to see what happens if 3 players have a battle axe inside a Welkin box and just Beyblade someone to pieces. It'll be probably hilarious and awful. Oh, and also, Archibus Malteus? That's looking pretty familiar. I mean, it looks dope, don't be wrong. And I liked how, like, it actually has weapons that seem to account for everybody on the map. Also, notice what map it's on. I don't know if this is just for a showcase, but that's not typically a Mashmak map. So, very interesting to see that. Now, for the next segment, they are essentially just showing the improvements they've made to the hangar, the camera mode, and things like this. You will now have more freedom to move the hangar bay around to actually get better angles of your mech, as well as there are a couple new inclusions to the hangar. I feel like this is probably the one most of you are going to be interested in. You have all your modular weapons and your glider displayed for your Mashmak setup, which, God, this looked pretty sick. Just the glider standing there, the scale of everything. I love this part. Oh, and they did also mention that in the future we will be able to visit each other in our hangars and actually hang out with one another, so that's great news as well. Let me skip ahead to one little thing that I think those of you who know will go. So they went back to showing off the poses real quick, right? If you know, you know. For all of you who love to pose your character, yeah, we have complete control over the character model, and he actually said that maybe in the future they will potentially make like the ability to let us create little cinematics, which would be insane. But just this alone, this will be awesome. I can't wait. I think this is a fantastic feature for all of us who love doing screenshots and who love using the camera mode and getting different shots of our pilots with our strikers. And for those of us who like to do content creation, oh yeah, this is going to help out tremendously. Now, I'll get to the meat and potatoes of what you probably want to see here, because I know that a lot of us in chat felt the same way. We have quite some crazy stuff to check out right here. So, I'll just take this as it goes. That's a fucking space map. That's a space map, I think. That's for sure a space map on the moon or something, some kind of asteroid with what looks like is probably a new objective. Can't wait. Also, what was that? What was this? I actually missed this during the live stream. I don't know if I like blinked or looked away during the second that this happened. I did not notice. Hold on. This. What's happening here? What's happening there? Are we about to destroy the planet? I'm not sure if this is going to be a new map or a replacement, but either way, I like the size of this map much better. And then for this one, oh man, I saw this and was like, is it going to be? Oh yes, we have underwater combat. I don't know why I'm so hyped about that, but I am. I am curious to see if the flyers will be allowed to actually go underwater in their flight form, or if this will be something that kind of creates a new dynamic on the stage itself. Also, if we have things that excel in the water, that'd be interesting too in the future. You know, some Xeon style suits maybe. We've never seen this map, so we have some new stuff incoming, and it looks good. I'm excited. They always go hard on these visuals too for the victory. Like,
oh, but yeah, here's the moment you've been waiting for. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I don't know if you are. We'll go look at this in depth. Don't you worry. So, double melee. I mean, clearly this is like Panther's lightweight little brother, and I know quite a few of us, including me, were like, "Where's the lightweight melee?" Because there, you know, we just didn't have too many like pure lightweight options. Like we had some medium weights that feel kind of light, and then we had Falcon and Luminae. That's about it. And yeah. Now we have this dude who seems to have some sort of grapple hook. Let's hold on before we move. Something. It looks like he sends out a grapple hook right here, and attaches it to one another to where they're tethered, and then he goes forth and dashes and just obliterates them in a combo. Here he's going after a Hurricane. Hurricane, I believe, puts his bubble up, and it's like that. You know, I'm already in this circle with you. Clearly, there is some sort of grapple mechanic thing. This you can see it plain as day right here, and yeah, this one clean. I know a lot of people are gonna be excited for that one. This one, oh my god, the head crest on this one. It's that's what I'm actually pretty interested in. It doesn't look like it's a medium weight. I think this one's also going to be a lightweight or like a lighter medium weight because it looks pretty nimble. And I was actually pretty excited to check this one out because I haven't really felt any urge to use the current supports or anything. And this one was explained to be a sort of, I mean, you can tell by the core piece that it's made by the same manufacturer as Panaka. I don't know if you can tell. I mean, this is clearly made by the same company that made Panther. Like, all of the aesthetics are there, which is something I really love, by the way. The fact that I can look at these and immediately go, that's the company that made that. That's the company that made that. Like I knew Hurricane and Inferno were brothers. I know this is the brother, like probably little brother or something to Panther. This next one that we're checking out is clearly the little brother to Panaka. Also, that head crest is so good looking. I just gotta say, I love how kind of Barbatos demon-y it looks. That big exaggerated head crest, just I love it. And yeah, so this one, I like I was saying, usually I'm not a big support guy, but I was more tempted to check this one out based on seeing its movement looking pretty nimble. And man, like, so here it looks like we have some sort of satellite laser strike that it does on the heavies, which is going to be great because I honestly think we needed more options against the heavies. Seeing that finisher in action too. The gun looks pretty sweet. They don't show this one off as much as the other, but I noticed it also has the grapple hook. It's interesting that both of these new characters, if you look right there, grapples, pulls it to it, and then shoots it. And I did remember seeing, right, I am interested to see what this grapple hook does because I don't think this is, clearly, you know, the lightweight melee was using their grapple to get in your face and be more aggressive. But here, if you notice right there next to their health, there is some kind of symbol that pops up as soon as they use that grapple hook on them. For now, we can only really speculate as to what it does, but it's probably some sort of debuff, and I'd be interested if this has like a two-way use with your allies as well, in a similar fashion to how Luminae works without the corrupted meter, because it seems on the right that as far as we can see on the right side, it doesn't look like it has the ability to transform between two modes, so probably not. On top of that, it does seem to have 3 uses in an almost drone-like fashion, so I'm curious to see if there's a certain range you can do this within before they disconnect, or if you can just like drop it on someone and then take off and go apply it to someone else and debuff the entire team, or well, I guess like half the team or the entire team if we're doing Ace Arena. But yeah, just something I noticed there. And outside of that, I mean, the Hero's really hoping for like an AMA part, but I'm not sure if this was pre-recorded or not. But overall, I'm super excited for the future. July 1st is so close, but it feels so far. I know it's less than 3 weeks away, but I need it. That's about all there is to cover. I do recommend checking out the live stream though if you do want to see everything more in depth. It's still up on their YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone who got this far in the video. I just appreciate everyone coming through. Please consider subscribing if you're enjoying the content and want to see more Mecha BREAK stuff. There will be a ton of Mecha BREAK content in the future. Falcon Guide, probably other strikers as well in the future that I feel proficient with and like I actually have the merit to speak about. We'll be participating in tournaments, hosting them, doing community related things, just all sorts of stuff. I really plan to just go all out with Mecha BREAK and aspire to hopefully grow alongside the game as we try to get a further reach out and get more players interested in this, because I feel like Mecha is having a bit of a resurgence, and the more people, I mean, if it's good, if it's good, you know, and it earns it, we need to get the people on board. And yeah, outside of that, I feel like I'm rambling at this point. But thank you to everyone who listened to me do all that. I'll be live on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, starting around 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time, just within that window. And we usually go until about midnight. When it drops, I probably won't sleep for a full day. We will probably be playing Mecha BREAK for 24 hours straight unless the servers kick me off. But yeah, thank you again. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace.